What's up, guys? This is the NapX and iNetwork collab interview right here for all the 5 prospects right now for iNetwork's basically prospect list. And we got our 5th prospect. I think the 4th prospect of today is going to be Mootyy, who is basically a part of one of the best lockdown groups or lockdown prospect groups that we had seen in a while. Mootyy, how you doing? Former 2K E-League Pro. Also, what team you going to play on for this Vegas trip that's coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, man. It's an honor and pleasure to be a part and be on. I love doing stuff like this. So my team for Vegas, and I feel like we've been putting in more time than the majority of teams. I put together a team so I joined the NBA 2K League 3v3 tournament they had, and it was a random one. I didn't know at the time it was random. And I got paired up with a kid named B-Reese and Slazer, and we ended up winning the $5,000 pot. So, and 2 of my throwdown teammates weren't able to make this event. One had like a flag football, like a professional league, something like that. Chuck Kid Lit in Florida the same weekend, and a couple others couldn't make it. So I decided to put together a team with my brand that I started years ago called Flip the Script. And I kind of I took the 2 guys that I participated in the 3v3 tournament with, and I took the chance on the point guard I play with, bringing in 2 of his friends that he recommended. And I kind of wanted to go in there and prove that like you don't really need big names to go in there and make noise, that kind of like hard work and chemistry and, vibes. A team that can vibe on and off the court can make some noise. So I'm going in with my team, Flip the Script. We've been playing in all leagues. We've been grinding. So I'm excited to see how everyone performs. It's going to be cool. I mean, as the majority of people know, I thrive on the stage. I love that atmosphere. I bring energy, trash talk. So it's honestly, I'm not setting the bar of expectations too high. I mean, I don't want to get first rounded personally, but I'm going to go in there and have fun, being a vet and doing so many of these tournaments and stuff. It's honestly just, I'm grateful to be able to participate on that stage and play in that atmosphere because it's rare and it's something you don't want to take for granted.
Right, man. And again, most of these prospects that's coming in, they are pretty much, unexperienced. They basically just getting into the competitive stage. Some people, obviously played college basketball, college football, whatever, and they already know like the professional stage. But you on the more of the career scale right now, especially for the 2K League, you've been there before. I was going to ask you, what is the experience like basically being in the 2K League and then now, going back into it again? What was like the experience before and now, right now?
It's really not as easy as people think. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, and I'm grateful for being able to play a video game for a living, but it's not, all flowers and rainbows. Like, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of pressure. You're having to go from an atmosphere where you play at home, you can kind of chill and stuff, to where you have to basically make yourself like people on and off the court and live with them, even if you don't really like them, because at the end of the day, you can't be immature and you got to put your pride aside and, collectively come together because you're all playing for the same thing, for money and to win and championships and stuff like that. But my 3 seasons in the league, I learned so many valuable lessons, and this is coming from someone that was a full-time college student.
Oh, wow.
It's such as like stuff that most people wouldn't be able to get from not playing in 2K League, like being able to throw on my resume that I've worked for a professional NBA organization, like not just an internship or anything like that. And also being able to like little stuff that some people take for granted. Like I got to do basically 3.5 years of NBA in the workplace, like training, like professional training of like what to expect and social media marketing training. So I think those things are really cool that some kids take for granted, but really looks good for you moving forward. And especially like to be able to tell people, but you learn a lot of lessons, man. You honestly, especially for kids, it's really good. If you don't go to college, you kind of learn to grow up. You kind of learn to, like I was telling you before we went on the interview, like I used to get really nervous, doing any type of public speaking or even like video interviews like this. I'm not sure why. I never knew why, but with experience, I got drafted 4th overall. I'm in Madison Square Garden, get drafted on the stage, and then boom, you're thrown into the back and you're getting interviewed by ESPN and going through 3 different rooms of interviews and stuff. So it kind of it's like when you don't know how to swim or you're scared to swim and they push you in the water, you kind of got to learn. And that's one thing. Unfortunately, these prospects and some kids aren't really taught or have that guidance. But the 2K League definitely it boosts your confidence and it kind of turns you more into a professional. And I'll always be thankful for that.
Hey man, and especially with the experience and everything, and as you said, going into different interviews, different things that you have to adjust to, especially social media, and also the branding part of it as well, is just these young guys are not going to basically just right away just like, hey, I gotta speak now publicly and basically get into these interviews and go into these events. It's going to be crazy for them to basically adjust. You, on the other hand, you just like, all right, man, I got my suit and tie ready, I'm good, you know, I don't have to worry about nothing. You know, you good.
And it's not easy, man, as clear code as like people think it'll be and stuff. Like then you get into doing these video interviews and stuff and interviews with coaches and stuff, and it's really not that easy. And I feel bad for a lot of the kids because, like I said, they're not really taught these tools, and they're only going to learn it from experience. But it's tough if they're just kind of thrown in there for the first time and they mess up or they act nervous and stuff. That could be their one shot that was just kind of washed away. So
I feel you, man. And as I'm speaking with the other prospects for the iNetwork, prospects for the iNetwork studio, pretty much, I'm like looking at them. I'm basically like, some of them, you know, have the confidence, have the bravado. Some of them just like, I'm not, you know, I'm just trying to get through the question. You, on the other hand, perfect. Speaking of iNetwork, right? How has iNetwork impacted you as a prospect trying to come back into the 2K League?
It's been cool, man. I mean, they intrigued me from the get-go. I like to tag. So for me, I think it's huge. I was actually a minor in marketing in college. So I think it's huge to promote. And also I take pride in, for my team or whatever team I'm on, to promote and retweet their stuff on my social media page as well as my team page. I think that's huge. Even if you're not the type of person that likes to tweet out about yourself, or you may seem as obnoxious, it doesn't really matter what people think. It matters that it's out there. They're going to acknowledge, they have to acknowledge it. They see it. So I thought it was cool. I like to tag, so to get more retweets and more exposure and stuff. And I started tagging iNetwork. And I think it's really cool because they market and promote the players and their brand and stuff, but they do it in a professional manner and they're consistent about it. It's not like one week or one day they'll like, oh, draft Mootyy, draft Unguardable, draft Seldom and stuff like that. And then like 2 weeks later, nothing. And then they come again. It's like kind of a every day, every other day, every week at one point in time. Like
kind of like a daily reminder.
Exactly. And no matter what, you kind of got to put your pride to the side. And even if you don't like it, like I said, it's promotion and it helps. And even if other people don't really like it or care for it, they have to acknowledge it. They're going to see it. So that's free views, and that's people. If it helps, because the more your name is out there and the more people see it, that keeps you relevant. So I think it's really cool. And I think what they do is great. I think they take, they don't just kind of like BS it or put half effort into it. They make it look very professional and consistent. So I think that's awesome. And like I said, any type of promotion is beneficial to any player.
Right, man. And as I said, with iNetwork, basically with the promotion of players, they want to make sure everybody is represented in the best light. Trying to make sure, I even see them in streams and basically saying like, hey, we support you. Keep pushing, keep doing your content, especially with Bag Motion told me he's like, literally he gets messages either from DM, you're doing great. Seldom, same thing. Kings World, same thing. So like the fact that it's a group that basically is able to not only promote players from the NBA 2K League or it's prospect that's trying to get into it, but other leagues as well, and then just show the daily promotion and never give up on it. And as you said, like most promotions, they do it for a week, they do it for 2 weeks, they probably do it for a month, and then they just leave. With them, they doing it constantly until you achieve that goal, or maybe even after, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's perfect. Or they require like fees, which is really unnecessary in my opinion.
Yeah, that too. No promotion should require fee unless it's like, you know, actual great brand. You know,
they have an understanding of the actual concept and perspective. Like they need the players, and we don't necessarily need, but it helps. It's beneficial. So it's kind of an equal partnership. Like we're both getting the same thing in return.
Right. Now going on to pretty much the 2K side of things now, right?
Yeah.
Let's go on to how you got into 2K or gaming in general. because now that I'm interested in, basically, I know you're coming in, you want to be a prospect, not want to be a prospect, you already been a 2K Elite player, and pretty much coming in as a prospect. How did 2K basically shape the way you are today? Like, how did 2K get you started?
I've honestly always kind of been a game head. Like, I enjoy playing video games, and I'm big into sports. So growing up, it was kind of an escape from everyday life. I love basketball. I played basketball in 2K, and I just kind of, it started off as a hobby when I was younger, like 13, 14, 15 years old, maybe even younger. And I started playing on this website called GameBattles.com because I'm a competitive person.
Listen,
yeah,
we all have.
That was the start, and I actually won a 4v4 $2,000 winter season ladder tournament on Team Up.
Nice.
And to that date, it was 2014 or something like that, or 20. It was a while ago. My memory gets worse the older you get.
Nah, you good.
Yeah,
trust me. I'm the same way. I'm 25 right now. I'm just trying to remember everything.
Right, it's tough,
back,
man.
So you good.
Yeah, but so when I won that, and two of the people actually on the team were Jonah from the Magic and Kyle Rudy, Let's Ball from the Knicks. When I won that, I was like, that's a lot of money for me at this age, and for a video game. And I was like, I might be onto something here, and then just continued to play consistently, and I wanted to be the best. I wanted to get better, playing every year. Then they introduced Pro-Am, which was really fun, and we took my team from Team Up, got another player, played it. Then when they announced the road to the All-Star, we merged with Dev and Insanity, and joined Throwdown because we were two of the more powerhouses, and actually qualified the next week. And then, when we won the PlayStation side for the road to the All-Star tournament in 2K17, I was a full-time college student at the time. And after we had done that, they announced it was a little bit before, or maybe it was the week after, they announced the 2K League. And it was easier for me to show my mom and stuff, hey, I'm being flown out to New Orleans next week to play for $250,000 in front of cameras and all this stuff. This might be onto something. So it was easier for me because I'd already been playing and had that platform and that name and stuff to kind of just take the leap of faith and put college on hold and go for the league. So that's kind of in a nutshell how it happened.
Hey man, 2K be blessing people, and especially if you have the gift and the talent, man, and you are able to not only just play it for fun, but play it for money and make it a living. Sure. As ultimate blessed gold, and a lot of people is going to get blessed, especially in the coming months. So let's hope and pray. Again, I feel like you're going to be a shoe-in. I say this for most of the prospect too, either all five. That's pretty much for iNetwork. Most of you guys, if not, it's going to be it. It's sure. Guaranteed. But hypothetically speaking, right? Say if I'm a GM, right? And you got to sell me why you're on the team. Well, what will be the reason? Now, obviously, I know your resume. I've looked at your resume. I know you're a former 2K Elite player.
Yeah.
But, sell me. Why should I let you be my lockdown for?
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's not necessarily about selling. I think my resume and my accolades speak for itself, and the way I handle myself. I bring more to the table than just what shows up on the court or the box scores. And if anyone that knows my story, I was trying not to be a selfish teammate, but season 3 is kind of why I guess you could say fell off. But I missed the entire first month of the season leading up, and voluntarily benched myself because the same 5 had been playing. I had a bad stomach intestine infection, and I thought I had COVID. So I sat out the entire first month of the season. And that same 5, they wanted to throw me back in to see how I do a power forward and stuff. And I thought it'd be selfish if the same 5 had been grinding for a month, and they're going to be better than me, obviously, at the time, because it was the first month before, it was the brand new game. You have to learn a game. So that, and then midway through the season, my dad picked up a second form of cancer. So I missed an entire another month and a half where the Lakers luckily allowed me to be at home for that. So it was tough. I only played 8 games or so, and then I worked my butt off and wasn't content in that off season leading up to season 4. And I'll just say season 4, I got snubbed. There's not really much to it. The thing that held me back is I switched positions to lockdown that January of that year. So I only had 2 months of experience, but I felt like I was one of the best. And They kind of just stay on par with it. I think it's my natural best fit position because I'm a natural vocal leader, and I feel like locks that have an advantage or stand out more are ones that are vocal, and I take pride in that. Honestly, I don't think there's only maybe 2 locks or so, and then it's kind of the rest are all kind of on the same playing field for this draft class. I think I bring what is necessary to like a championship winning formula. Like, I'm a veteran, I get along with anyone, I bring great energy, good vibes, stick skill is there, and it's not just about stick skill. Like, I bring all the intangibles off the court that these other prospects don't have, and there's not many people, honestly, proud of myself in that too. There's no one that has seen the highest of highs and lowest of lows in this game than I have. I've seen it all, been through it all. Nothing really affects me. I'm a very confident person. I'm a great teammate too. I always put others before myself. So I feel like I'm really that veteran that could help a team, especially if you're getting new prospects, get over that hump. Because I bring a lot more than just what shows up on the box score on and off the court. And as you see with Wizards District Gaming, off the court vibes matter a lot. It helps if you get along, if you're a good person. It helps you become a good teammate. So, and I'm actually passionate about this. I'm not really in for the money, or what you could call 2K fame or whatever.
2K fame, right?
I'm generally a 2K head, and I enjoy playing this, and I plan on eventually coaching and being in a general manager spot. So, yeah, and I do my homework. I watch film, all that stuff. I know these prospects. And it kind of showed too. I'd taken 2.5 weeks off before the combine. I went 7-1. At one point, I was 27 for 27 from 3. And I saw that actually. Yeah, and I was without a doubt one of the best teammates and locks in the entire combine and closed combine. So that just shows how much I work. I work hard when I'm locked in. I have a strong work ethic, and I don't really just settle for just having an ego and thinking I can go out and load up and go out on the court and beat whoever. And I think too, Vegas is going to be a good statement if you want to sell all, be all on myself. When you see me win or lose, my energy is not going to be matched, and my leadership with the team I'm taking there, you'll be able to see my body language, how I act, how I play. And I think that will be a big thing, especially now that in-person play is probably going to be more of a consistent thing for this season than it has in the past.
Right. Okay. Hey, as I said, I like the experience part about it and everything, but I mean, we all know you've been the team player type of lock, but what really intrigued me is basically the battle through basically the up and downs of basically you playing in the 2K League and then just basically coming out, and then all the problems that basically arise from it. And then not only that, still having not only the skill, not only the knowledge, the IQ and everything, but still the confidence, and also just basically the temperament to come back and be able to do the things that you're able to do, and also help out others, and also be there for others in case, because you've been through it. So it's if anybody's there that needed help, or mentally, just in terms of life, or in terms of just 2K wise, you're going to be there and you're going to be on them, but it's also too, it's out of love. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah.
That's perfect. And I think most teams need that too, especially coming to the draft, regardless if they have a group of veterans and they just trying to win now, or they just need to raise up the prospect group right now for some of the new players that's coming in.
And to touch on that, season 3 too, not a lot of people know about that because we were already playing at a disadvantage. We're in a hotel, they're on a Wi-Fi. I thought it'd be very selfish on myself. Like I said, it ended up being a little bit of my downfall, but I felt how I was raised, I was doing things in intention for the team. We were already losing and stuff. People were tweeting at me and DMing me every day, why aren't you playing, blah, blah, blah. I thought it would be selfish on myself to go on Twitter and talk about myself and put a spotlight on myself of what I was actually struggling, and just it negatively impact the team more when we're already losing, already going into each game. It's more difficult with the mindset hey, we're already going in and playing at a disadvantage. We have to play way better than average. So I thought it'd be selfish, but it ended up hurting me a little bit because everyone just thought, oh, Mootyy just stinks. That's why he's not playing and stuff. But there's way more behind it. And to this day, I wouldn't change what I did again, because I just feel which I need to be a little bit more selfish as a person, like towards myself, because like I said, I always put people in front of me. That's just how I was raised, and I'd rather give than receive. So I'll continue to do that.
100% understand, man. And again, life is first, as always. Like
100%.
I always tell everybody this, especially being a coach as well for a group of prospects as well. Life is first. Always put your life
100%.
first. Always make sure that everything comes out fine in life, and then you worry about the other stuff. You worry about the 2K stuff afterward. But life is first, man. You take care of your family. You take care of yourself.
100%. I'm a big believer in karma, and everything happens for a reason. So I wouldn't change it for a thing.
Understand, man. And again, it's a soul be good. Hey, listen, you gonna grab a lock spot for sure, especially on my team. Listen, I need that experience, especially for these veterans that probably think they're full of themselves and they're about to win a championship. I need you. I need that communication for sure. Now, one thing, tell me about your relationship with your coaches, or from before, past, present, future. What advice do they tell you in the coming days of Vegas and also the NBA 2K draft coming in? And maybe you can share, maybe like even before, what did they tell you from before? Like, what they.
So if you go back and look at my teams with my coaches, that's why I think too, I will be one of the better coaches in the league when it's time, because I've experienced no coach, a professional Italian basketball player coming in halfway through the season, coach that didn't know anything about 2K or played it.
Right.
A GM as a coach that was a game head but didn't really play 2K as that. And then a player coach and insanity. So I've kind of experienced all the spectrums of it. The thing is I really haven't had, this isn't a knock towards any of them, a really confident coach or someone that I could go to and know I'm going to confidently get the knowledge I need or the answer correctly that I need.
Right.
So I'll kind of flip the tables here, and every team I've kind of been on, I've kind of been that vocal leader, and especially in pro-am and stuff. So I kind of act like with this team, especially too right now I'm on, I kind of feel like I'm like the GM, the coach, and the lock. So in my opinion, what a coach should and needs to do is, in this 2K stuff, especially with all the personalities and egos, like some of these kids, I don't know where they're getting this or where they can talk to people on Twitter, but the same kids, when they're in real life, when they show up in person, they'll smile on your face and shake your hand and stuff. So it's just kind of people putting on a front at times. But honestly, as a coach, you can't be non-confrontational. You can't. You have to attack things, hammer on the nail right away. If not, it's going to become a lingering issue. Honestly, what type of advice I would give, especially for some of these kids that are going to be playing first time in a live audience next weekend, is why be nervous for something you dream about? It sounds cliche. It kind of sounds a little corny, but seriously,
I'm about to write this down.
That's one thing I was taught. That's one thing I was taught.
Write this down.
Seriously, why be nervous or overthink about something that you dream about? All these kids that are dreaming about going and playing on the stage, playing in person, having a chance to compete, winning. So why not go in there? You're going to have nerves, you're going to have jitters, but I promise you within the first 2 minutes, you'll be able to settle in. And you play this game almost every night. It's something you do. It's muscle memory. So there's just nothing really to be nervous about. And don't overthink it. And honestly, try to have fun. Try to smile. As corny as it sounds, you'll become more confident. You'll become more loose. If you sit there and listen to DMX, or I learned this the hard way season 1, DMX or Meek Mill and stuff, pregame, isolate yourself. You're going to sit there and overthink. You're going to get your nerves up. It's not like actual basketball or football or anything. You can't just run out on the field and become energized and stuff like that. It's more mental. It's more being relaxed. So honestly, just try to talk to as many people as you can and try to be in a happy mood, even if you got to fake a smile. Because you're going to be nervous, but you do this every day. You're going to be playing in Vegas or in person or whatever scenario it is for a reason. So why be nervous about it? It's stuff you dream about. That's the best piece of advice that I can give to someone. And if you lose, you get first round or you play bad or whatever, don't stress it too much. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. A, and B, I'm going to be honest, no one's going to remember if you played bad or performed poorly in 2 days, a week, a month, next year. So don't sit there and dwell about it. Just use it as motivation and bounce back.
Gotcha. Hey, listen, Moody, that's really great sound advice. And I thought it would just basically be from like a coach, like, as you said, but like now thinking about like the past coaches that you basically, from what I'm hearing, it was basically either a coach that didn't have experience or a coach that pretty much thought too much of themselves or pretty much didn't care about the game as much.
Yeah.
And the simple fact that you were able to give sound advice is crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't a knock. I loved all of them. And they would. What I respected is they would try their best and stuff. But what I'm thankful about is it taught me a lot. It taught me about how I want to be as a coach, how I need to be as a coach, what the players want, and stuff like that. And also, too, another piece of advice when I think about it: don't be a bad teammate, especially in person. Like no one is showing up there with the anticipations of wanting to play better or missing open shots or like. It's only going to help your team and stuff. And I get it's hard for some people because they haven't played sports or been in like a team oriented environment. Like, bro, like yelling at your teammate or being toxic. Like, I get it. You can talk about some stuff, but you have to have situational awareness. You have to know your personnel. You have to know your guys, especially when you're going to play for money on the stage and stuff like that. If you know your shooting guard likes and reacts and plays better when you're talking crap to them or like on their on their butt about things, then that's how you have to do. But you can't talk the same way to your center if he's kind of more sensitive or like obviously performs or starts doing better when you're like saying positive things or complimenting them or, kind of babying them in a way. You have to know your situation. Right. You have to know your personnel and you have to know, how to be a good coach or how to be a good leader to them, because just flipping it the other way around could harm your team. And also if you're just sitting there yelling or screaming at someone, like that person's going to kind of become insecure. Or they could become sensitive and it could negatively affect their play because they're like, hey, this is supposed to be one of my brothers. Like, why is he kind of like bad mouthing me on stage? Or like,
he's kind of yelling at me.
Going to Twitter and be like, wow, my lock sold me. Or wow, we couldn't hit open shots. Like, it's just, at the end of the day, we're still learning. Like I said, some of these people are kids, but it's very immature. And it's just going to negatively impact and affect not only your image, but like with who wants to like hoop with you. Right. So just be a good person. It's really not hard. It's not. They're like you can't treat your teammates and stuff if they play bad. Like they're not showing up there wanting to play bad. It's not like just common sense, at times, a lot of the times. And it doesn't hurt, even if you got to put your pride or ego to the side, if you're not that type of person, to compliment your teammates mid-game, even if it's a wide open, good shot, bro. Like,
hey, good shot. Hey,
it's only positive energy. Exactly. So,
hey man, I feel you on that, and a lot of teams gotta push into that for sure. You mentioned from before you had pretty much starting and going to college before you had to leave for the 2K league. And pretty much got back. I'm pretty sure you got back, went to college, got your major, and I believe it was communication, or you was trying to get into marketing, I believe, right?
Marketing. Fun fact: I actually have not gone back. I have about a semester and a half. But it's very difficult, especially when you're trying to take this seriously. Let's be real. Like 2K players kind of work at opposite 9 to 5. Like, right. Because that's kind of like between 9 o'clock and
it's like literally like night shift into like graveyard shift.
Yeah, exactly. You have to accommodate for time areas and time zones, and people have everyday lives and stuff. They got kids. They got 9 to 5s, like actual 9 to 5s, normal ones. So, it's tough, but yeah, my thought process is I want to do it. My grandparents had passed away last year. Actually,
I'm sorry for your loss, man.
Yeah, losing all 4 was kind of crazy, especially like 3 of them out of the blue that were like perfectly healthy. But they always told me I need to get that piece of paper. Like it's valuable. So I'm going to find time to eventually do it. But here's my thought process. What this 2K League gives you and offers, a lot of these kids, I was a major in sport administration and a minor in marketing. Most of the kids that went to my school, they would literally work their butts off and get their degree and stuff just to try to get an opportunity to have an unpaid internship with a professional sports organization or a college and stuff like that. With this 2K League, exactly. But that's the realism. You get that. Unfortunately, a degree half the time will get you an unpaid internship if you want to be with a professional organization or like a college program and stuff like that.
Right.
The NBA 2K League, if you get in, it's kind of like a loophole, not only player, but coaching and stuff. You're able to physically put on your resume, hey, I worked for 3 different or 4 different or 1 professional organization, like not internship. Like I was paid, I was a part of that. So that's kind of my mindset right now, that I fortunately have the, I'm a good interviewer as well. So I just need the interview first. But to get the interview, that's just pure confidence too. To get the interview on my resume, I'm able to put that I've now worked or affiliated with 3 different National Basketball Association organizations, like physically worked, like not internship or unpaid or like temporary type. Like I actually did. So I feel like college, as bad as it sounds, isn't really a necessity, because I got my student loans and stuff and all that pretty much covered. So why am I going to go back to have to go like kind of in debt or have to pay all that money when I have all the knowledge and tools? All I need is my resume to give me that opportunity to get an interview. Exactly. So that's kind of my mindset right now. I do eventually want to do it, but I just don't feel like it's one of my top priorities right now.
Right. And again, I understand this. Like, that was gonna lead me to my next question: what is your career path other than NBA 2K League? But like, literally, you hit it on the head. I'm like, literally, you have all the tools already, especially after going to school,
right?
Especially if it's for things like this, like marketing, like communication, like even HR, right? Because
exactly.
In the last interview, you basically mentioned HR, and basically a lot of places need HR. It's so much things you could do within the NBA or just the NBA company in a whole, or the organization as a whole. So like literally getting to the NBA 2K League and adding that to your resume, and literally also just saying, hey, I've been here in a professional setting before.
Yeah.
So
you can literally look me up. Like I know I can handle the pressure of lights, cameras, press, like people. Like it gives you that experience that like.
That is unbelievable. Like it helps
exactly.
a lot.
Like the perspective of it is absolutely insane. And I'm sure you're probably going to ask this question later on, but like, that's kind of where I want to go next. Like I've actually been pondering, despite at the level of play I've been playing right now, if I was given the opportunity, I can't give too much into this right now, but if I was given the opportunity of a coaching position, even if it's a assistant coaching position, because I'm already good at giving advice and talking to people and have the experience, but not only like gaming isn't going to last forever. Let's be right. 2K League, all that. I want to set myself up for success longevity wise. If I get into this coaching role, to hop into the actual NBA org long term, whether it's marketing or being an assistant for something else, or I'm confident in a quick learner and willing to learn stuff, so I can really jump into a lot of different areas. But that's long term what I'd like to do. Or even if it's like go from coaching to GMing and then bam, get offered an esports GM job somewhere else, like Call of Duty or something. I love Call of Duty. I love watching it, or like the 2K League or stuff like that. Like if you're really smart and strategic about this, you really won't have to dive into a different area or struggle to go to college or work in a cubicle 9 to 5 every day. Like it's all about building connections and how you treat people. Like that's why you don't really want to burn any bridges and, treat the janitor like you would the head principal.
The head principal, right? I feel you. Hey man, that is great advice, especially for anybody that's basically, I think everybody should listen to this interview, man. You have saying some things that's like work of gold, even for myself, literally, like just in general. My next question to you, right, is basically, and I'm pretty sure you went over this pretty much, is like, how do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? And you pretty much go on over this with the whole Magic thing, and especially the Lakers. But like in terms of basically teammates, in terms of like basically when you guys are playing, when you actually are in the playing setting and in game, how do you deal with that, stressful situation if a teammate is not playing their best, or they kind of in their head, or what I'm saying, like they kind of like stress out because another player is not showing up, and they're trying to get on their back. How would you usually deal with it?
I think it kind of all falls back ultimately to being able to deal with it as a whole is experience, which is something that comes with time, honestly. And like I said, when you've dealt with and seen the things I've seen, it really molds you into being able to deal or weather any type of situation. But honestly, it touches back to what I mentioned earlier, with situational awareness. Like you're a professional at the end of the day. If you're put in that position, you need to know or get to know your teammates on and off the court so that you have that situational awareness of knowing how to deal with situations. Like you mentioned, if someone's not playing well or not showing up or doing their part, you need to know what your personnel is like whether you're a player, coach, anything. Like if I know my shooting guard plays better when you're in his ear and barking at him, and because me personally, like I don't really like to be baby. Like if I'm playing, let me know. Like tell me, like, Luke, get a stop. Like, what are you doing? And me, I already know, like, if I'm playing bad, so I'm not gonna, in the way I am, which my teammates know, I'm not gonna probably reply. Like I'm not gonna try to sit there and argue back with them and, oh, you shut up, go score and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, all right, bet, I got you. Like, I know I got you. But other people, which they need that, are people yelling. You might get into a little argument or so, but all right, bet he's about to lock in. That's how he is. I know him. But other people are maybe more sensitive or play better off positivity and stuff. So you kind of have to know how to treat and talk to your teammates, whether you're the vocal leader or you're the least talkative on the team. Because you 1 through 5, you got to be collectively bought in, and you have to, uplift your teammates. Like at the end of the day, you're not only teammates, but you're supposed to be brothers. So it's like, I'm supposed to be able to trust the man sitting beside me because we're playing for thousands to, at times, $1 million prize pool. So like, why not put your pride and ego to the side and collectively, like, you're a team, you're supposed to be. That's why I love the aspect. And I mean, I wish I was like a professional football player or basketball player or something, because I love like that tough love and hype up energy and stuff like that. You can't really act fake. Like you're going to see them. Like majority of your time. But honestly, you just need to know who's your team, how to talk to them. And if you don't know how, learn. Take the time to learn. If you don't really know your center like that, that should be hashed out by week 2. Yo, bro, you want to go grab some pizza or something? Like, let's talk about life. Tell me what you like to do. Because you can get a feel by just hanging out and talking to one person. Like, okay, this is what their energy is like. They're more shy, so I need to kind of baby them or like be more positive. Let them know when they're doing well, or like if they're more confident, they got more swagger. Be like, bet, all right, I'm not going to be easy on this guy. He's probably going to react and play better if I'm barking at him or talking trash to him, or like wake up type stuff. So it's honestly about you putting in the work, not only on the court but off the court, and kind of learning and being able to adapt and kind of knowing that boundary, that line not to step over in certain situations.
Right. Hey man, I handled that perfectly. And again, we already touched on it and everything. So as I said, like pretty much we already know, like, hey, we got to make sure pressure situations, like especially against certain players, like obviously they want to be babied or they, a little bit sensitive. And then for other players as well, it's just like they want that intensity. They want you to basically yell at them and get them riled up, because again, when it comes down to stage and when it comes down to actual playing the game at home, it's a little different. It's like literally to hype you up, I gotta talk some trash to you. But for some people, it's like literally, yo, relax. You good. You've been here before. You're a professional.
You gotta know.
Good. You got it.
Like in perspective, like reference, like you think Kobe Bryant liked to be babied?
Nah.
Come on now. The way he was and how many videos he had of how hard he worked and stuff, like I'm sure Kobe, which I'm not speaking for him or anything, or no, like I'm sure he'd want to know when he's doing bad or messing up, or have teammates to be hard on him, because he was hard on them as a leader when they were messing up. But also too, like I mentioned before, personally, because I didn't touch on that either, just the team wise, like pressure wise, I don't know. I think it's just more of an experience thing. Like I played for so much money. I've made a blessing amount of money off this video game. Like I've been in so many situations. Like I've literally played on this Vegas stage before. I know what to expect. I know how it is. I know where the lights are. I know how this sounds. I know where to look, all that stuff like that. It comes down to experience. And honestly, like I said, with this video game and stuff, as much as you play, I tell people it's when it actually comes down to matter and on the stage, and when you're competing for money, when you get there, it comes down to 80% mental, 20% skill. That's being real, because you put in the time. There's not really in this video game someone that's just is gonna like dominant level type, like LeBron type, gonna come in. You're like, no, I cannot guard this guy. There's no way. I know this guy's gonna come in and drop 50. Like, it's a video game. At the end of the day, certain animations and stuff are fluky like that. So it's like, what can you control? Can you control how you act and your body language and how you react to your teammate and stuff. So that's why I said, just be happy and enjoy it, be thankful. Because when you're smiling, when you're talking, when you're happy and stuff, and really taking it in the moment, you're not sitting there thinking about, how many points am I going to score? Am I going to hit my first open shot? Or is this guy going to cook me first possession?
Right. You're just
chilling. You're being grateful. And then you're not sitting there thinking about it or isolating yourself and getting all hyped to music and stuff, because it's going to make you overthink. So honestly, just like I said, like, why be nervous for something you dream about? Just go have fun. It sounds corny, but it's serious. And if you don't want to take my advice or try it, just go have fun. You'll play and be so much more relaxed and be able to dial in better. And if your teammates see you smiling and laughing and stuff, that's automatic confidence. Like if I show up on the basketball court to play someone, or I love UFC. If I see a guy walking out to the octagon, I see him smiling, I'm like, ah, snap. He's feeling way too good right now. He's confident. He's chilling, dancing and stuff like that. And that's real. Because if someone's quiet and stuff, you don't know. You can't really get a read on them. It's like, okay, is he locked in or is he nervous? Like, he may be really locked in and dialed in and like, but I don't know that. Like, he could be in reality, he's just nervous, or like he's thinking about it too much. So honestly, with pressure situations, just live in the moment and have fun. Like seriously.
And speaking, and this is gonna be my last question too for the interview. And I love that you basically touch bases on like professional athletes in general, like LeBron or Kobe.
Yeah. Like
pretty much like when they reach a certain, like, well, you know, with Kobe, mama mentality, it's like literally like, hey, like, I know I'm playing against, like, during the time, like, Atlanta Hawks. I already know I'm going to be playing against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going to be confident. I already know this team is not, they're not the best, but I know I can put up, like, I know I'm going to have a good night.
You got situational awareness. You got to know personnel. Right. You think Dave Fry likes to be babied or told he's doing well? No. He the way he is, the way he acts and stuff, he wants to be told when he's doing bad. He'll probably let you know, like, he'll probably argue back with it, but he's mature. He's a champion. Like, in the day, you got to have a little maturity too. Like, don't carry on an argument for multiple plays or start bringing it up or talking to yourself. Like, oh, he said this. That's crazy. Like,
it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you touch on Dave Fry too, because my last question is to you, right? Is what NBA player inspires you mostly, right? Just like what NBA player, professional athlete, NBA player basically inspired you. And then my second part to that question was, what 2K E-League player or coach kind of like you connect with the most, or kind of like inspires you a little bit the most? You know what I'm saying? Even though you've been in that platform, like, who is basically somebody you kind of like somewhat look up to, or somewhat kind of relate to in a way?
Yeah.
But give me your answer.
I'll touch on all three. I'll touch on NBA, athlete in general, and 2K League. I'll start off with 2K League. It's probably what I'm thinking about Ryan, like Dave Fry, because we're pretty cool. But it's like, this was the same guy when he first started playing. Like, we would beat that team all the time, whatever reason. Like, he was a power forward, he would pop and stuff, and then like it was like the next year, like he started hooping and like becoming a dominant name. It's just, I like seeing success stories off hard work, and I respect people with confidence too. I think it's admirable if someone has confidence or they got that swagger, because like, damn, I want that too. Like, why not? If you're gonna be confident, why do things at all? Like, I want to feel like I'm the grittiest, like, I don't know if we're allowed to cuss with this, MFer, like, in the room. Like, I want to feel that way. Like I want to feel that way. So seeing that too, and him winning back to back after because he's not really like a big OG in the community. Like, he might have started in like 2K17 or 16 or 18. He wasn't like way back. Like, I'm talking like team ups when it used to be 2K God team ups and game battles with like Ramo, Fab, Dimes, like OG, JT, like OG, like Deeds, Moon. So I think it's admirable that he basically he gives the same energy. Say the cliche, keep that same energy. He keeps the same energy. He doesn't really change himself, and he turned himself from really not being that known in the community to good, to winning chips, to having this perspective about him before he won his first chip that he was a toxic teammate and stuff, and was getting kind of this negative or bad rep, and he didn't change himself. He kept the same way. He believed in his work. He believed in how he was as a person, and he won 2 championships for it. So I think that's really cool and admirable, especially because I thrive myself on energy too, and in situations that matter. So I'd probably say Dave Fry for that. And he's a cool, down to earth dude when you actually talk to him. Like, he doesn't, if you're having a casual conversation about everyday life or anything, he's not gonna have like some ego or like ego you, like I'm the double champ, I'm gonna leave you on red, stuff like that, you know. NBA player, I'm a Boston Celtics fan. It'd probably be Marcus Smart. My favorite player is Jason
I like
Tatum,
that.
but I love Marcus Smart, man. I mean, I don't really care for the flopping or anything like that. But every time you watch Marcus, I feel like he really keeps the same energy too. I like and respect people that, you know, make those extra hustle plays. He takes pride in his defense, and he's really worked on his jump shot and kind of become, I wouldn't say a knockdown shooter, but he's pretty consistent now shooting. And I just really respect that, because I feel like a lot of the NBA players regular season, they don't really try their hardest. Like, they kind of take plays off and stuff like that. I feel like you really never see Marcus doing that. Like, he treats it as if it's like playoff basketball atmosphere.
His last game or his last minute, right?
I think that's cool. And he talks crap and he's got energy, which 2K, not a lot of people know. That's why you need really that energy or hype man. If you're talking trash about people, obviously keep it 2K. But when you're doing that and actively talking trash and stuff, it's going to keep your teammates more highly engaged in the game and kind of give them that swagger too. It rubs off. So that helps. And then athlete, I'd probably say Conor McGregor. I'm a big UFC guy. I'm part Irish. And if you really look at his story, he was a full-time like janitor, just cleaning toilets and stuff like that. He kept the same high school, or it might have been younger than that, sweetheart, who really helped him the entire way. And if you really read up on his story, it's really cool to see. And also, like I said, I like people with confidence, and his confidence, the way he's able to manifest things and kind of speak things into existence. It's dope. It's like, I sound corny. Like, it's like, I kind of want to be that guy. I want to like have that, like, you know, he walks in the room and it feels like everyone likes him.
You already know his impact.
He's like,
got impact in the room.
Yeah, like, I'm a very confident person, but it's like, that's a different level. Like, even when he's losing and stuff, that's a different level of confidence. Like, it's crazy. And that's kind of like, you kind of know his mind, no matter what's happening. It's kind of bulletproof. I want to get to that point where I know, like, I've gotten to that point kind of with 2K, believe it or not, how many kids like DM you or tweet negative stuff at you, or how many people can just hate you for no reason and not even know you, or say you're trash and stuff like that. But like that's a different type of like level of mentality.
Like, I don't care what you think. I'm me, you know?
Any point in time, you can tell he thinks he's the man and he knows it. And some of it comes off arrogant and egotistical, but he was a double champion. He earned, no matter what, he can go on and lose 3 more straight fights and retire. 10, exactly. He got to the top. That's why I don't really like the position I'm in right now, because I feel like I deserve to be in the league and the player. But I always kind of have to take a step back and remind myself, hey, I was the number 4 pick. I was at this level of success, of being the highest of highs, that a lot of more than half the community or these players and stuff are aspiring to get to or haven't seen yet, whether it's even winning like a WR championship season or PSI 250K or being drafted and stuff like that. So I kind of have to take a step back and remind myself. And I think that's what a lot of people get caught up in too, is not giving themselves like that mental appreciation. Because then you just start thinking about the negative things. You know, why is this happening to me? Like, when in reality, you can kind of push through and you know, make shit happen.
Hey man, Mootyy, let me just say this right now. This is probably one of the most inspiring interviews from the iNetwork interviews that I've done. Because like literally with, you know, King's World, with Back Motion, with Seldom, you know, it was just mostly kept 2K and everything. You know, 2K. They discuss more about personal life. Seldom more, you know, more in like a more stricter kind of personal life and everything. But this is like 100%. I was interested in just listening, and again, I'm sorry for like everything that happened as far as like the NBA 2K stuff when you was in there, and then the problems that you had to deal with, especially with stomach and passing in death in the family. But just hearing that and just hearing the comeback story now, and especially everything, and especially the things that you had to go through, and the position that you was at before, it's really compelling, and I hope that you get into the 2K league, especially coming on now, and also hope to move up later on. You know what I'm saying? Because definitely job, especially being a coach, being a GM, or just pushing yourself up in marketing, being possible an NBA team. That would be
for sure
lovely.
Yeah.
So I'm just
I've been keeping it low key, but I mean, I'm ready to coach, but I love playing the game so much and feel like I put in too much work and too highly skilled and to have too much to offer to a certain team and stuff. It's tough for me to put it down, but if the right offer were to happen or so before this season 5 draft, I'd probably have to accept it, because gaming will always be there and playing and stuff. But if the opportunity comes and talks to you, it's going to be tough to turn down. And that's why you don't really see people tagging me in like coaching or anything roles or like these jobs that come up, because I don't want to close any doors. Like I feel like I'm that good of a player, but and love doing it so much, but I don't really want to close any doors right now. So
I feel you.
If opportunity knocks,
you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, like I said, longevity wise, you got to think about it, because gaming, especially with 2K and stuff, I mean, we're seeing it more now. Every year, like you could just become bad or not like I mean, look how many people are dropping out because they're not having fun, or which the community and the game and stuff isn't like it used to be for some people. Like it's not as fun, but you just got to keep pushing, especially once you get to that level of success or being drafted and stuff. You get that taste, like you want to come back for more. And my thing is too, like mentioning the Conor McGregor stuff and his confidence and stuff like that. Like if I don't have confidence in myself or believe in myself and really believe it, no one else is going to believe in me. So that's the first step, is I have to be vocally confident and believe in myself no matter what it's for, because if not, no one else is going to do it for you. So
great, man. Mootyy, I'm going to let you off right here, man. And I appreciate the interview, especially. I appreciate just having you on and just basically talking about this. I felt like I was actually talking about, talking casually, straightforward. Some parts I even forgot it was an interview, to be honest with you. So I was like, hey, man, I'm glad that I got this speech from you. iNetwork, thank you for sending me him to basically talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed this inspiration today. Otherwise than that, man, have a blessed day, and thank you for appearing on for the iNetwork NapX interview for today.
For sure, brother. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you.